Hello everyone, welcome to the financial information channel. In this video I'm going to give you the information about the stock market news today and how the company did report earnings on Monday. Now let's start with the video, and I'm going to cover some of the companies that I didn't mention in the weekly earnings because the video was already too long. Now the first one is Arconic. Now Arconic beat the EPS by 6 cents and the revenue by 80 millions, and the year to year is 0.9%. Now Arconic is one of the companies that it rose the revenue by 1% over the previous year. However, it's waiting for the new CEO. So I would say this company still has a good potential to move a little bit higher during the second half of the year. And the next company is Halliburton. It beat the EPS by 5 cents. They beat the revenue by 100 millions. The year to year growth is 29.5%. So in the conference call they said the demand wasn't to be that strong, so that's the reason why the stock was moving down. And the next company was Hasbro. They beat the EPS, however they were in line with the revenue. They beat the EPS by 7 cents. They were in line in revenue, and the year to year growth is 10.6%. And Hasbro mentioned that they raised the revenue by 11% due to franchise brands, partner brands, and Hasbro Gaming. So as you saw on the previous screen, the revenue didn't grow. It basically didn't beat the analyst, and when that happens, the stock is going to go down. So a lot of investors took the chance to take some profit. The stock has moved quite a bit in 2017. And the next company is Stanley Black & Decker. They beat the EPS by 5 cents and the revenue by 60 millions. The year to year growth is 10.2%. And one of the main products, which is tools and storage, it grew around 17%, and 8% was organic growth, which is actually really good. Now the stock was moving down a little bit. That was because the stock has moved quite a bit before the earnings were announced. Who would have thought that a company selling tools and storage has moved so much in 2017? And the next company is gonna be Google. Now Google beat the EPS and the revenue. They beat the EPS by 58 cents and the revenue by 410 millions, and the year to year growth is 21%. Now in the announcement they said that they took a 2.5 billion fine that I mentioned in one of the videos. That was because Europe fined Google, so that took a lot of money out of the free cash flow. So that fine reduced the EPS from Google from $8 with 90 cents to $5 with 0.01 cents. Now one of the areas from the advertising point where there was a little bit of weakness was in the cost per click. Now the cost per click has been down 23% and 5% this year, and Google is saying that YouTube is one of the reasons why that section has dropped a little bit. So it affected the reaction. Now the stock has been going down during today, and let me explain why. Now Google has gone down during the last 8 quarters after reporting earnings, and you know what happens next? The company comes back and continues to rally during the next day or so. Google actually posted good numbers. Aside from that fine that was imposed by Europe, actually it had a great quarter. Now the next company is going to be Logitech. Now for Logitech we don't have the earnings because that's a European company. They're going to report the earnings at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm going to put the earnings in tomorrow's video so we can get an idea. But I expect Logitech to beat the EPS and revenue. And Logitech is around $40 per share, and it's a very underrated company. And now we're going to start with the market news. Let's see how the market did today. The Nasdaq closed as a record high because we have so many tech companies announcing earnings. The Dow went down 0.26%. The S&P 500 went down 0.09%, and the Nasdaq went up 0.36%. The top gainer was Xerox with 3.8%, and the biggest decliner that I mentioned was Hasbro with 9.4%. And the biggest gainer in the Nasdaq is Tesla with 4.3%. That company continues going up. And the biggest decliner was Hasbro with 9.4%. Mattel, which is gonna report this week, is going down 3.8%. The Dow biggest gainer is Caterpillar with 1.5%. They're going to report tomorrow. And the biggest decliner in the Dow is General Electric with 1.9%. That company continues going down. And I was reading an article about Goldman Sachs. They mentioned that the companies that are in the tech and the financials are gonna move up the most in the second half of this year. And this week we're going to find out if the tech companies report really good earnings, and I think they will. And the next story is about Amazon. they're probably gonna, start entering into the healthcare space. I mentioned in a story last week that they hired one of the people that were really involved in the healthcare space. And the next story is about Microsoft. They're going to enter into the AI chips space, and AI is artificial intelligence. At this moment, Nvidia is the biggest player in that space. And keep in mind that Apple is also working into the AI chip as well. And the next story is about Chipotle. They had two stories last week, but the one that I think that affected the most was about the virus. They got some people getting sick when some of them reported to have the norovirus in one of the restaurants. So a lot of analysts were saying maybe you might change the name, maybe that could fix it. However, still, if they change the name, that's not gonna change the outlook for this company. This is one of the companies that I wouldn't touch within the next 9 to 12 months. And then I will have to revise to see how the company has made a comeback. Well, that's gonna be everything for the video. Please leave in the comment section below which of the companies are you most excited to hear earnings. And tomorrow we have a lot of good companies reporting earnings. AMD is gonna report, McDonald's, Caterpillar, and I know a lot of people are requesting me to do Win Resorts, so I'm gonna cover that company earnings. And you can subscribe to the financial information channel. I'm gonna continue bringing videos about the stock market, personal finance, and how to make money online. Have an excellent day and take care, my friends.